transfer nipa mako 908 won be kwada bay. Must say with immediate effect 3 weeks no more that to old position no. Yeah. And our transfers no say it's on hold. Me will list ni now how maybe any panel maybe the list is on this mahi. 908 one time quick bam. Yes, we now transfer. One back what bay. Yeah, Kotua Bampa. Couldn't move bad. Nii Assin North.
Captain. 2 issues. Assin North providing further and better particulars and evidence for 2 issues. Either said the voter in Ghana is ignorant, and now said the voter in Ghana is a hypocrite. These are 2 things. I've seen what happened in Kumewu, because Captain Nami was Kumewu. I was on the ground. Me was Kumewu from 26th April till after the elections. What I saw in Kumewu was that, Captain, they've seen all the things that happen in Kumewu. Say, mo streets, mo votes. All the social amenities that normal human beings would have to have are not present in Kumewu. Now, so because of the few CD notes, and some of the vote buying things we saw on TV, because of that, they voted in a certain way. I'm saying what's going to happen at Assin North, it will prove 2 things. Either the Ghanaian voter is ignorant or he's a hypocrite. Now, Captain, you call parliamentary elections. No problem, there's a by-election for parliamentary seat. 2020 elections. Before 2020 elections, anytime you're voting, we have a majority or a minority in parliament. Until you find out, sir, anytime it should be back up parliament and people have to take a vote, they'll blame it on the majority. Say, oh, a majority for no, I'm voting. So we have a certain saying, almost say, a minority will have its say, but majority will have its way. That's what we've been seeing for a very long time in our democracy. But in 2020, there was a new precedent. So we had a hung parliament. In that situation, minority has its say and majority has its way. Now it was equal numbers in parliament. What have they been able to do, the so-called minority, what have they been able to do with their numbers in parliament? That number or the numerical advantage, what have they done with it? Anytime any serious issue before parliament and it has to be voted on, it's 2 things that happen. Either there'll be a boycott, and they'll walk out of the parliament house and then they leave it for the majority to have their way. Captain, that's what we've seen so far. And it beats my mind, sir. Voters seem not to see these things happening. Or my father said it is the norm, it's normal practice. But if, let me mention names here. Captain, if NDC was going to be a credible alternative, and I said there were a minority that was fighting for the people, anytime any issues came to parliament that had to be decided on the floor through a vote, with their numerical advantage, they could vote no, not to boycott. But instead of voting against whatever bill has been proposed on the floor of the parliament, they would just walk out. Now, Martin Luther King can say, and I'll paraphrase, or say Obi is Obi, na say na one country, you've taken the side of the OCC.
That's right.
And see, in the face of injustice, if you remain indifferent, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. And see, at the parliament, you guys have equal numbers in parliament to kick against anything that has been brought to the floor of parliament. They do not use their numerical advantage for anything. The worst case scenario, they say they'll walk out, boycott the vote, and leave the majority to do what they want to do. This is what the NDC has done with their numerical advantage as a hung parliament in the first time in the political history of Ghana. And see that. And see, like I said previously, I'm going to say, minority has a say, majority has its way. But since 2020, Captain, we've had a hung parliament. What has the equal number been able to do to the benefit of the Ghanaian people in parliament?
Nothing.
And see, it's hypocritical, or it's hypocrisy in the highest order, for particularly the NDC to walk around parading themselves as the alternative to the NPP government. I can't say several times, sir. Since the beginning of the so-called Fourth Republic, they're friend of the False Republic, there has never been a time, sir, any of these 2 political parties have gone into opposition. Never. Government is in 3 arms. You have the executive, you have the legislature, and the judiciary. This is government. The only thing that changes at any point in time is the executive arm of government. President per NISSA. But the composition of parliament has always been such that NPP and NDC have always been in parliament. So how do they go into opposition? And see, Captain, I'm a boy and Chaskele, it's musical chairs. So when they hear big account, and they turn it around and say, oh, these guys are bad, these guys are bad. But Captain, on my final point, before I leave this, look at this. 2017, after the elections, 2016 elections, MPP won their presidential elections. Omuyi, finance minister, Kenoforiata, as the candidate for the finance ministry. People were aware, parliamentarians in parliament were aware, because you cannot tell me, say, Omu year or due diligence, and now background checks on the candidate. So they were very much aware, said this finance minister, or this candidate for the finance ministry, has shares in data bank, and the other things that were involved in that problem. But now, so as they brought him to parliament, they all gave him a unanimous confirmation, approval, say, Ombedi finance minister. No problem. From 2017 to 2020, Captain, you and I were in this country. We had all the scandals pertaining to the finance ministry. But after 2020 elections, the Sani Pakwana called back to parliament as an appointee for a renewal of his mandate as finance minister. Where were the NDC-MPs at that time?
They also again approved.
But when now we passing, say yes, unanimous approval. We should make him the finance minister to continue. So how is it that the same individuals are going around the country and parading themselves as if that they've not even seen any of these things and they're not part of the rot? Then again, it comes back to my initial statement. Say, this elections in Assin North will prove two things. Either the Ghanaian voter is ignorant or they are hypocritical.
All right.
Thank you.